Hello there, and welcome back to episode 2 of Knights of the Nerd Republic. I am your host, Jared the Dark Jedi, joined by Professor Darth Bomb.
Oh, boy.
That was practically unintelligible, and I loved every second of it.
Gonna get worse every time.
We got Black Leader, Travis Grossman.
Episode 100 rolls around, Levi's just unintelligible. Like, that's the whole show is him trying to do an accent, but it's just him like, wow, wow, wow.
Levi will sound like the cursed version of the Quaaludes video.
But a Gungan.
But a Gungan. He's like...
I hate you.
We're not even a minute in, kids. And I didn't even introduce Connor yet. And then we have the lore keeper, Connor Chiquiti.
Hello there.
Oh, man. We are off to a great start.
General Chiquiti.
You are a bold one.
You are a bold one.
It actually fits. Wow.
General Kenobi.
Like, the same... Yeah, that actually fits. Holy crap.
Jedi. I don't know.
What's happening there?
You're a bold one. And I thought of the Grinch song.
Oh, yeah.
And nothing rhymes.
You're
oh,
a bold
God.
one.
Obi-Wan.
Mr. Grinch.
Yeah, that's what you can do. We'll workshop it for Christmas.
Yeah,
God.
we'll get there.
We'll have
get
that
there.
ready for the end of the year. We'll release that as a single on iTunes or something.
Let's do it.
Connor, how was your week, buddy?
Not too bad. Just trying to apply for internships, 2 of which are... The applications are due in like 2 weeks, so I'm pretty much trying to go into overload with those. Another one's due in March, but I'm just trying to get that one done as well. Other than that, just been chatting with friends about Star Wars, and classes are going pretty well so far. I actually found out today from a really good friend of mine that she was born May 25th, and I flipped the fuck out, obviously, and she was like really confused but curious as to why.
Connor!
I know. I literally said it, and I'm like, drat.
You made it almost 3 minutes, buddy.
Yeah, well, no, so I flipped out.
Beautiful.
And she was wondering why, and I said that was the day that the first ever Star Wars film released. So
Shares a birthday with our favorite thing ever.
yep. And she said and she says it seems great things are born on May 25th, and I'm like, indeed they are.
Yes.
Was she
Also-
also saved in the editing process?
Yeah.
Yes. One saved.
Whatever that implies.
Yeah. I don't know what the implication there is.
Yes.
We'll go with it. Levi, how
She was
was
saved in the editing process.
Levi, how was your week, buddy?
Well, my week was fun. My week was good. I saw somebody recorded the viewing of this one movie anime called Promare.
Yeah.
Which came out at the very end of 2019. So it got snubbed in awards. But, he's good.
Yeah?
Ooh, he's good. Yeah.
He's good.
Yeah.
May I ask why you still have your coat on?
It's cold down here.
Okay, I wasn't sure if you just didn't realize you still had it on or not.
I have it on. I have it on. Additionally, so for those of you who know what Shovel Knight is, well, Shovel Knight came out with its 3rd DLC, King of Cards or something like that, following King Knight, and I played some of that with my brother, who's in the Mississippi, and, well, not the river, but the state of Mississippi. And
Horrible things happen to your brother. Ends up in the Mississippi River.
we had a good time. We can't co-op any campaign but the main Shovel Knight campaign, but he watched me suck. which is always a good time.
Right? Yeah, there's something entertaining about just, watching somebody get took while they're playing a video game.
Yep.
It sounds like a good time, though.
Thank you.
I'm glad you had a good week.
time. Mm-hmm. Jared, how was your week?
My week was pretty good. Like I said, on TNAP, I got to go to the Toddies, which is the annual award ceremony that the theater I do stuff at holds every year, where they give out awards and stuff. That was a lot of fun, and then some of us went back to the one person's house, and we had a grand old time there, and I may or may not have fallen asleep.
What a grand old time.
I may or may not have fallen asleep really early into that party.
Oh,
You did.
I did.
oh,
I
geez.
did. I didn't like pass out. I just
Yeah, you didn't. It wasn't like Jared got.
so drunk that I
Blacked
my
out.
body shut down.
It was just he was a tired boy. Not unlike on our way here. Which, if you check my Twitter at Travis Political,
I hope you get hit by a truck.
it just went.
Yeah.
I've had 4 people since I hit record message me on Snapchat like that is one sleepy boy.
For background, now I gotta tweet the video, Sean,
Yeah, you do.
for when this goes up. The one gentleman who directs a lot of shows at the Geyer, dude by the name of Sean Conway, great guy, got a video of me being very, very, very loudly snoring. It was quite entertaining because, again, just out like a light, missing all the partying chaos happening in the upstairs area, and I'm just slouched over on a chair, dead to the world.
Sleepy Jared.
Sleepy Jared. Jared is sleepy.
Sleepy.
Travis, how was your week? Douchebag.
I covered the bulk of it on TNAP this week, where Dragon Ball Z Kakarot came out. I'm now about 7.5 hours into that. A lot of fun. Check it out if you like Dragon Ball. I played at the Magic the Gathering pre-release for Theros Beyond Death. I placed second. It was a good time. I enjoy Magic quite a bit. And maybe on TNAP we can cover some like bigger Magic news if that ever comes out.
Absolutely. Yeah, those are one of those, like, I don't know.
My favorite pro player might be getting inducted into the Hall of Fame this year, so.
Wow.
Awesome.
That's cool.
Nice.
But I want to talk about, before we picked Jared up from work, we were sitting in Dunkin' Donuts. Me and Levi were just chilling, being bros. He was playing Civ. I was doing some homework. And Vibing. It's not inaccurate, actually. They had some pretty like good background music where, like, if you didn't tune into it,
Yeah.
it was just like,
It was cool.
I'm in a montage of someone working in a cafe on a TV show, you know? But this little kid, so in the Dunkin' Donuts, you know, this like the door that separates, excuse me, the like the little door you open to get into
I'm
the
sleepy
counter.
and you just have really bad indigestion. That's basically.
I'm on my second bottle of Mountain Dew, excuse you.
Oh, wow.
It's Mountain Dew Zero, it's fine.
Yeah, he's fine.
It's fine.
We're all fine here now.
We're all fine.
How
I
are you?
saw what'll soon be a future lawbreaker. This kid had to be like 3, and like his mother's like leaving with him, but like as they're walking out, she like looks away for a second, and he runs around to that little door, just pushes it open to see if he can, realizes the power he's just discovered, and is like, he doesn't do anything. He doesn't try to walk in or anything. He just goes, I will use, like, he didn't say this, but the look on his face is, I will use that later. And the way he conveyed that to the world was going,
Yeah.
Is that my long lost son? Like,
is it Enoch?
yeah.
Jared is the father of Enoch.
Jared is the father of Enoch. That is another. Oh, I'm so sad Michael couldn't be here now.
I want a video series of Mike Doling
Just riffing.
just riffing, but like next to a fireplace, kind of in the, like in his picture on the website.
Yes. We need yes.
With a unrelated book, with like a bathrobe with a nice glass of whiskey that he's not drinking. He takes a sip and is like, I don't even like whiskey.
Just throws it in the fire. Like, obviously that would burn the house down, so like actually have it actually be apple juice, but like
Yeah.
for the bit he's like, I don't even like whiskey.
This is
We're gonna have him just start going about how you're the father of Enoch.
Father of Enoch,
Eyes of
right?
the
The Eyes of the Dragon.
son of Easy-E.
Son of Easy. Oh, I meant to put that on Twitter because the London Toy Festival announced, like Funko announced that they were going to be releasing it. London Toy Festival, and Eazy-E's getting a Funko Pop, and I forgot to like screenshot it and like tweet at Michael and be like, "Hey, Mike, your dad got a Funko Pop." Oh, Connor wasn't here for that. While we were setting up to do episode 0 of TNAP and then episode 1 of TNAP, there a random conversation started because Mike wanted to fact check how Eazy-E died.
Oh.
And I don't remember how it happened, but that conversation eventually turned into us like head canonizing that Mike is actually the long lost son of the rapper from NWA, Eazy-E.
Okay.
Yep.
Like whatever you experience with Mike Dooling in one of these calls, that's exactly what he's like in real life.
Yeah.
It's not even like
In public.
it's a 1-to-1 in public. We have to hold him back sometimes.
Oh, that's interesting.
It's fun. It's a good
that's
time.
actually really cool.
Mike.
Like I don't know how different I am on here than where I am in public.
I'd imagine not that different.
Probably not. I am a lot more passionate about Star Wars. Like I'm a lot more just like publicly passionate. There was actually this one time where I was, for lack of a better term, ranting, but it really wasn't ranting, passionately ranting about Star Wars to someone who, he's a film major, but he's only seen one Star Wars film, and I forget what the context was.
So he's
but
bad at his future job.
Yeah.
Have you seen the first
But I was
one?
pretty much talking about, I think Star Wars in general. No, wait. It was Rey's journey in general in the sequel trilogy, and then in Rise of Skywalker, and then all of a sudden, in some way, shape, or form, I just screamed, "Persistence reveals the path, baby!" I forget what for, but like, yeah.
Start shouting that, stripping, running around naked, screaming at everyone that passes, get arrested. That's a good time. I'm going to go do that, actually.
Nice. Oh, yeah, just scream fucking inspirational Star Wars quotes at people. Failure's not the end! It's a necessary part of the path!
Shred shirt.
On the topic of being inspired by Star Wars, we got a full-length trailer finally for the final season of the Clone Wars, and we at last have the release date confirmed for February 21st from the word of the mouse itself.
That's a month, people.
Yep, we have exactly a month until the Clone Wars, and
As of recording this.
Yeah,
this,
so
you guys have a day shaved off of that.
Under. I don't know.
You guys hear this in 12 hours while we're recording it.
Actually,
right now.
exactly 12 hours.
Yeah.
It goes up at...
Yeah, I just realized it was 6.
It's 5:59. Don't let him fool you.
Yeah, it's 5:59. 5:59.
Peek behind the curtain here.
Hold on.
Oh, God.
If we're being exact about
Levi,
things.
you wearing your shoes?
I is.
What were you going to do? Okay, he's putting on my
I am
shoes.
4 parallel universes ahead of you.
That's not even funny. Why am I laughing? I hate you all. So, I really like this trailer. I'm not even going to address it. I really like this trailer. There is something really jarring to me still about Ahsoka with blue lightsabers.
Yeah, I mentioned to Levi, I watched it in Dunkin' Donuts. I'm really curious how she got the blue crystals.
Anakin.
Interesting.
I mean, because we know at the very least the Jedi have to have like spares laying around.
Well, yeah,
Because they give Obi-Wan and Anakin, they just give them like here so you don't die.
Yeah.
While all hell breaks loose on Geonosis. So I'm assuming that he just went, okay, here's a blue Shoto, and here's one to match, I guess. Go fight Maul because you're not officially a Jedi, but go do Jedi stuff. I like the whole design and everything. It's just blue looks so weird on her. You know,
I like it.
I like the green. I like the green
I
and
like
yellow.
green.
on her.
I like the green and
Like,
yellow
then again-
combo, like before she left the Order, and like when she's like fully grown, like Fulcrum in Rebels, the white and like
Dude,
the
the
plated
white is-
armor look is my favorite for her. It's so weird, and like it's also the fact that like especially looking at the poster, there's so much blue.
There is. Yeah, I will say that.
Dan Mendel, baby.
But I like the blue on her, just personally. I agree that on the poster it's a lot, but
Yeah.
also, do we think we're supposed to find out how she gets crystals to purify, right?
So that happens during her exile.
Yeah, that happens in the Ahsoka novel, which I still.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right.
So that's long after because she takes it
yeah.
from an Inquisitor.
Because I had heard like
Yes.
somewhere in the ether, we find out how Ahsoka purifies your crystals, and I think I like just tied the two. Oh, we're gonna see that in Clone Wars.
Yeah,
Not
no,
reading the
she-
whole thing, even if I did at the time. I was like, oh, it'd be cool if she like took Maul's lightsaber and purified the crystals.
No, I don't. I'm also interested in like where Maul got this new saber staff.
Bro, Maul's saber is sick. Like
I haven't had a chance to,
you
like,
guys
really
have probably
look at
seen that. People have been realizing that the.
Oh, we're losing.
And I'm
you.
like, oh shit.
People have been realizing what, Connor?
That the one side of his double-bladed saber looks a lot like Ventress's saber design.
I haven't had a chance to like really look at his hilt yet. So
I mainly found it on Twitter.
Yeah.
And I also found on Twitter my Star Wars mother.
yeah, I was gonna say there's a sweet little cameo for a eventual Kanan Jarrus and Depa Billaba, which is really nice. I just
Balaba.
Yeah, Deepa Billaba. I cannot. I've never understood like the really weird, like the Clone Wars starts and they're like head to toe in armor, and then like halfway through the war, that's like we don't need that much armor, and like now that the war's ending, they're like just back to robes. I never understood that design choice over the course of the series. And yeah, it's a nitpick, I guess, that I just like. A part of me wishes that when Revenge of the Sith picked up, Hayden Christensen was wearing what Season 1 Clone Wars Anakin was wearing, if that makes sense. Like, I just love that, like, navy blue and red and the chest plate and the gauntlets. Like, it's just such a cool look. And it's so very unique. I would have liked to have seen that be the case for the entirety of the war. Plus, you kind of have, like, the visual manifestation of the fact that the Jedi kind of lost their way in becoming warriors over being peacekeepers. That like the monk
I
like
will say,
robing fell
sorry
away.
to cut you off, Jared.
No,
I
you're
will
good.
say for the longest time, I never really like realized the difference between keepers of the peace and soldiers until somehow Ahsoka says it
In the trailer.
and I'm
yeah.
like, oh,
Yeah, well,
okay.
that was always something that like Legends did really well, where they did a very good
okay.
job of like showing like, okay, here's them being like
Peacekeepers.
space cops, space wizard monk police,
Yeah,
and then like, okay, now they're just straight up soldiers.
yeah, they're generals.
Yeah, like they're
forget,
straight up
was it-
warriors.
I saw something on Twitter. I can't remember if it was from you or from someone else, but I think they asked like, when exactly did they start becoming quote unquote like generals instead of peacekeepers?
I mean, assuming this is still the same from Legends, because there's no real reason for it to be different. Once the war officially started, they appointed 10 high generals, which were Kenobi, Yoda, Windu, Plo Koon,
Mr. Fisto.
Luminara. I think Kid Fisto was on there, and Coyote Mundi.
I was about to say Coyote Mundi.
And those were like the unit, and then basically if you were a Jedi Knight or above, you were a general, and then like Padawans were commanders, because just there's just a skill and knowledge difference there that like puts you ahead. They even King Katunko in the first episode of Clone Wars even says, one Jedi is enough to turn the tide of a battle, which is true. Mm-hmm. I'm really excited for what they're showing us here. I like the Bad Batch arc that we're finally going to get with like these altered clones. The Siege of Mandalore obviously is going to be incredible, and I'm looking forward to seeing what ramifications that has for the Mandalorian and how those two might line up and connect to each other in some way, shape, or form. Do you guys think Darth Maul knows what's happening?
Yeah.
Like, he knows, like, y'all are about to get blindsided.
He probably has some idea.
Like, I don't
I think he
Probably.
knows.
I wouldn't surprise me.
Do you think he knows exactly what's about to come to, like, what's going to come to pass?
Don't
I think so.
You think so?
Like, do you
I think
think?
so.
Like, are you asking if you think he was in on Order 66?
Like, he knows that the Jedi are
like-
going to get genocided.
Oh yeah, he definitely.
I don't know,
He knows that there's going to be an attempt. I don't know. Like, there's a possibility that back when he was Palpatine's apprentice, that like the discussion of, okay, here's like the overarching plan
Yeah.
where eventually I will turn.
There
an
will be a
entire
big
army.
war, and then we will exterminate them because of the war.
Yeah.
I think he knows that. I don't know if he's like ready to like watch the clones start shooting at Jedi. And, like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm leaving now.
Do you think we see Order 66?
I didn't.
Oh yeah. I think we're
Before
gonna
this
see it.
trailer, I think we would have seen a snapshot from Ahsoka's perspective, and that was it.
But
But now that
it
we're
looks
seeing like
Padme's pregnant.
Padme's
Padme's
pregnant.
We saw my Geeto, I thought, right?
Yeah, I don't know if we saw my Geeto or not, but I know we see the
My ghetto.
my ghetto.
My Ghetto Academia.
Oh god. No.
That wasn't me trying to correct you. I'm sorry. I was like responding what you were saying and trying to think through the trailer. That sounded like I was checking you. I didn't mean for that to sound like that.
I'll check you. All right, come here.
No, you better check me. But we do see it's the scene that Depa Billaba and Caleb Doom are in. That's from the movie. Mm-hmm. Like, you just can't see that angle of the table that where Depa Billaba's sitting or standing.
Oh shoot, that's right.
Because like there's the exact line of dialogue with like, I sense a plot to
Yeah.
destroy the Jedi. Proceed with great caution, we must, or whatever the hell Yoda says.
Yeah.
We're all,
Take
by the
great care,
way,
we must.
real quick, Connor, we all were like shaking our heads and like pumping our fists in excitement that you said, "Oh shoot." We're all very proud of you on that one.
Yeah, no, but like it was funny when I was watching the trailer.
He's like, doesn't matter.
And-
Star Wars.
Yeah.
Mace Windu says, "I sense a plot to destroy the Jedi." I was like, "Yo, let's go!"
Well, I think he's
They're
sensing-
literally taking this scene from Revenge of the Sith and putting it in animated form. I'm a happy boy.
Well, is he talking
And-
about what they have in Revenge of the Sith, or is he referring to Maul here?
I think,
Oh.
well, because
That's a good question.
Because I don't like Mace Windu, so I want it to be the latter.
see, I don't.
That's a discussion for another time.
See, and that's the other thing is that like what it looks like the final season of Clone Wars is going to do is if it seems like it's going to do to Revenge of the Sith what the Darth Plagueis novel did to Phantom Menace, where it like completely recontextualizes the events of the movie. Because
shoot.
by the end of the Darth Plagueis novel, you're aware of the fact that Plagueis was alive for all of the Phantom Menace.
Oh, I thought he was
Oh.
killed when Maul was killed.
He is. So like
Interesting.
So like the Battle of Naboo, the Battle of Naboo happens, and then Palpatine moves in on Plagueis.
Yeah.
So like there's this like Plagueis is just off screen for almost every major scene.
Right.
Or like, Anakin shows up on Coruscant. We see them all bumping elbows with like Chancellor Valorum and everybody. Like literally, you move the camera half a foot to the right, you see a Mune having a panic attack. Like, I think we're gonna get this same thing where like you said, Connor, like, okay, Mace Windu, I sense a plot to destroy the Jedi. Is he referring to Maul, or is he like something's fishy here? I do legitimately think it's because he senses that not necessarily that Palpatine is up to something, but senses that something very bad is about to happen. And as much of a threat as Maul is, with Death Watch and Mandalore under his thumb, he does not have that kind of gas.
Well, I mean, okay, so I just remembered. Okay, no, never mind, because I remembered the Son of Dathomir comic arc that I still need to read.
It's good, but like Maul just doesn't have that kind of power behind him at this point.
Yeah, because I was going to ask if he still has that, like. I mean, I guess that pretty after he gets electrocuted by Palpatine, that he pretty much lost his power.
Death Watch is still loyal to him, but from what I remember, Death Watch is still loyal to him. That's why he still
Remnants,
has.
at least.
Yeah, which is still a lot. Like he has Death Watch behind him. It's just a matter of the Shadow Collective is no longer a thing.
Oh,
Like
okay.
he does not have Black Sun and the Pikes and all of those people behind him currently, but he still has.
Definitely
He's
need to
still
rewatch the Mandalore arc.
he's still occupying Mandalore.
You
Yeah,
haven't
at this
watched the
point,
Mandalore arc yet.
Okay.
I think he had to rewatch it.
Oh, okay.
But this just looks really good. I'm excited for it. I really do want to see. Hey, Travis, to fully answer your question. Before this trailer, I think we only would have seen like
Ahsoka's perspective.
yeah, which we get a
Yeah.
little bit in the novel, and like how she and Rex fake their deaths and escape.
Dude, that was so cool how they fake their deaths.
But now that we're seeing this, I think we're gonna get a more like full-fledged like Order 66.
Good soldiers follow orders.
Yeah. I mean, granted, there might still they might still just keep it to Ahsoka and show like a little bit of her feeling different Jedi dying. If we get a moment where she realizes Plo is gone, that's going to be
Ooh.
heartbreaking.
Dude,
That'll
that's what
And, like-
someone was saying, and I was gonna say here when she has her hand over her head when she's on the Ventnor class Star Destroyer in hyperspace, and she like goes in her and she puts her head down a bit. That's what someone was thinking, and I'm like, no,
no,
my heart can't. No.
that'll hurt.
And then someone literally was like, "Oh, what if we see Kanan's Order 66 like when
That's what I
Death of
think we're
Lava
more
dies?"
likely to
And I'm
see.
like, nope.
I mean,
I cannot take that. I barely could take it in the comic.
so
No way in heck I,
I
can
do-
take it.
I think
in
that's what we're going to see,
animated
though.
form.
I think we're going to see, like, obviously, since this is by nature a kids' show, even though
Yeah.
most of the hype for it is coming from, grown ass adults. I don't know that. I think we're going to get a little bit inside of the temple. I don't think it's going to be that graphic, but also
Yeah.
Clone Wars.
No, I don't think so.
Clone
too,
Wars
but
has never really given a hoot about
No.
children's well-beings. Like, this is a show that in season 2 was like, hey, you want to see Anakin murder a man in cold blood? Okay, here you go. So I don't know how much we're going to see of Order 66. I would kind of like to see the Jedi that we don't see get executed. Like, my condolences to you, Connor, but like seeing like Depa Balaba's death and like Caleb, soon to be Kanan, running like hell to escape that.
Shock
I will
tease.
legitimately be
Get
in depression.
get an actual
for the
canon
next-
death for
3
Shakti.
weeks.
Yeah.
That's another big one. Is like I'm just
Is she still stationed on Camino?
no. So
Ah.
right now,
They could have all of Camino turn on her. That
that
suck.
would be awful. Well, currently
That'd
Wait,
be a
who are we
lot.
talking about?
Shakti.
Shakti being like
Oh,
just
She's
so
still
surrounded.
Yeah, if she's on Camino, just how boned she is.
You could not be on a worse play in a
No.
worse place. When Order 66, like either you're a youngling on Coruscant or you're Shakti on Camino. But no, from what I understand, the current the story group has said that they are treating the deleted scene where Anakin kills her as canon. Because there's 2 deleted scenes in Revenge of
interesting.
the
Well, I mean,
Sith.
isn't that shown in the Vision too?
Yes, and that's why they
Order,
treat that
so-
one as canon, is
Yeah.
because as most people know, there's 2 deleted scenes in Revenge of the Sith that both depict Shakti's death, and then she dies in The Force Unleashed. George Lucas just
Yeah.
really likes killing this woman for some reason.
She gives herself up in Force Unleashed.
I mean, yeah, but still, she dies. There's the one that most people are familiar with, with Grievous, where Grievous, she's incapacitated, captured, and Grievous just kind of like stabs her through the clavicle. I don't like the version where Anakin does it because it's kind of dumb in the way that it's blocked and shot. Where like Shakti is in such.
You've seen the prequels, right?
I have, and that's what that's saying something.
Yeah.
That like she's like so deep in meditation
That she doesn't
in the
see
temple that she doesn't realize that there's a genocide happening, and she senses Anakin walk in the room, and like just under her breath goes, Skywalker, what are you doing? And she gets killed in the same exact way as the way Grievous did it. So it's still that like through the clavicle and then she just falls over. So I would I know it'd be a little bit of a retcon. I'd prefer to see Shakti go out with a fight. That's just cool. Me. I've always. There's never been something that gets covered a lot, except for in Revenge of the Sith adaptations of the video games of the movie, is seeing Anakin actually attack the temple.
The Revenge of the Sith video game slapped.
It's a gem that does not get its
absolute slaps.
Wow,
it does,
especially the alternate ending. I'm like, I'd want that.
But like, we don't see enough of Anakin's turn in Revenge of the Sith, and I really would like to see him, like, again, like the dark side is a drug. The more you call on it, the more it takes you over.
Maybe that could be what Ahsoka's feeling.
Yeah,
she could feel the death of Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah, well,
that's
very important because I don't know how much of Rebels you've seen, Levi, but like
I'm not leaving you again. Not this
there's
time.
that, but like when they first cross paths, because there's like a ship battle happening,
and their ships,
and they fly past each other, and she goes, "Okay, that felt familiar but wrong."
Yeah,
and it hit her. Yeah. She's like, "There's no way that was Anakin Skywalker," and she has that moment of like, "That's like," she starts to recognize it. Mm. So like for her to have a reason to feel her death. But by the same token, in the novel, she calls attention to the fact that she's assuming that Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Yoda and Plo are dead. That she doesn't know for a fact that they're dead, but does not think the odds are great.
Yeah, because I'm trying to remember, in the Ahsoka novel, didn't she pretty much just, like, bury the Force under her as much as she could?
Essentially, yeah.
Like how Seer Junda basically did it.
Yeah. Not necessarily in like the whole, I've failed, I don't deserve this power.
But like in the same vein of just like, I'm trying to bury my connection to
this was more for self-preservation.
Yeah. I just wanted to say, when you were talking about how Shakti was super deep in meditation, it just, to me, it called to the fact that like, what if like the visual for her meditation is like akin to the meditation points in Fallen Order?
Oh no, she's like sitting on like
everything's blocked out.
I mean, that would be interesting, but I don't think they would like cut to her perspective necessarily.
Oh no, definitely not. But like, I feel like they could definitely like
you can show that rationale that like that is what it's like to meditate in the Force.
Yeah.
I also want to bring up, just so that everybody at home knows this, and it makes me very happy. You can tell that Disney threw a assload of money at this. Because this is the cleanest this animation has looked. Like, Rebels looked great. This looks better. Like, just, they're moving like people now.
Yeah.
I just want to say, how much, I wonder if, would they be able to, like, quote unquote, remaster the previous seasons?
I think that would be too expensive. Yeah, you would have to remake it, essentially. Yeah. But like, there was one thing that like always kind of didn't jive with me about the way Clone Wars looked, and I don't have any other way to describe it than whooshy. That like every movement had this weird like noodleness to it, where they just kind of like kind of whooshed around the room. And just from like the little bit we see, there's this like the way that like Anakin like ignites the lightsaber, like it looks like his arm is flicking down like a human hand. I mean, granted, it's in the cybernetics, but still, like it has that movement of like bend, like flick, like switches it on.
Swish and flick.
Swish and flick. I was trying to avoid saying swish and flick really badly.
And also flick.
Swish and also my flick.
Swish and also my flick.
But not only does it look better, they mocapped Rey, I swear I've not been drinking Park, for the fight with Ahsoka.
I know, dude.
Well, now I have to watch it. Now I have to watch it.
You say that like you weren't going to.
I mean, yeah, but like watching this trailer,
saying how clear you can tell that Ray Park was the mocap.
It's just little nuanced motions. Again, there may have been mocap artists for all of these.
I know, but I feel like for Ray Park doing it for Maul, it just like
it feels more consistent.
flows
Yeah.
Yeah.
a lot better.
I was kind of hesitant about watching this season just because like I haven't I know all the major plot points in Clone Wars.
Yeah.
I
I
haven't
actually know nothing, so this will pretty much be a surprise. I know that the plot points are up there, but like I don't.
No,
No, he's
I mean,
saying that
like,
Travis
for the series.
is like as a whole, not just this season.
Oh yeah.
Like I watched it as it was airing on Cartoon Network originally, but didn't understand the fact that it was an anthology series, so I eventually fell off of it. Like I don't know what's going on with this show, whatever.
Same.
And then realized,
Unfortunately.
and so like I know like obviously when Maul came back, I was like that's really cool.
Yeah.
And like Ahsoka leaving the Order, I knew about that. So like I know the major plot points.
I'm sure somewhere there's like a required watching of arcs.
Probably
Because like, and not to take away from Clone Wars, it is a good show, especially when it hits its stride in season 3.
because there's a point where like you don't have to do the like scrambling of episodes anymore. It's just we're finally gonna make a normal television show.
Like, you get through seasons 1 through 3 are where most of like the convolutedness is.
Yeah,
And then you do all of season 4 like
Yeah.
in one shot. In my opinion, the back end of season 2 into season 3 is where Clone Wars was like hit its stride and was really, really, really good. Season 4 and 5 are probably the best. And then season 6 is like, one story arc is Yoda discovering the existence of Force ghosts, and the other one is Mace Windu and Jar Jar Binks teaming up to fight Night Sisters.
Hell yeah.
Dude, the Yoda arc in season 6
Yeah.
is my absolute favorite arc.
but
The
like
entire show.
I'm sure you could find a required watching list.
Probably.
Because Clone Wars is best.
You can find it.
Yeah, it's because Clone Wars the best moments of Clone Wars are all arcs.
yeah,
Like there's very few individual episodes that are like, oh, this one is like required watching.
Yeah.
Most of the required watching for Clone Wars is like a block of 2 or 3 episodes,
yeah, and
which I'm
like,
sure you could knock out.
Yeah,
Even pick the
and-
ones that like you're like, ooh, this seems cool. This seems cool.
But even so, like I would be comfortable watching this last season without it, just because it looks so clean,
Yeah.
and B, it takes place over Revenge of the Sith, which I think is an incredibly cool concept.
Yeah, that's bold of them.
How many
I-
I know.
episodes are we
I thought
getting
it
in
would
this
lead
season?
up to it, and then when I saw that they're gonna just go into it, I'm like, oh,
You're good.
okay.
No, I
I'm
want to say
excited.
12. I
They're
want to
doing
say
all of this in 12 episodes.
yes, because it starts on the 20th or 21st.
21st.
And then it wraps on May the 4th. If I'm not mistaken, that's
I
how
hope
it should
they're not
shake out.
rushing it and cramming stuff in and cutting stuff out
Well-
just to end it on May 4th.
No, because I think that's mostly coincidence. I think they had like I think they have what they're doing.
You think
and
it's a coincidence?
Okay, I think that they went, okay, we have this finished up. Oh, cool, put it there so we can make
12
it happen.
episodes.
12 episodes.
Ah,
Most of this stuff is stuff that's already
I don't know
been
how I feel
made,
about
though.
that.
Like the Bad Batch
Yeah.
arc is already on StarWars.com as unfinished animatics.
Yeah, like
And
this.
and Dave Filoni a couple years back at Celebration, like live on stage, walked people through the storyboards and limited voiceovers for the Siege of Mandalore.
Oh, now I remember hearing about that.
Yeah.
So like a lot of this stuff has already been in the can. I think this is going to be the strongest season of Clone Wars.
In just 12 episodes, though.
Think
I don't know
about think about
that.
most anime arcs that were 13 episodes.
Quality over quantity, my guy. I get what you're saying, Levi.
Man, I mean,
I would
Mandalorian.
love more Clone
Yeah,
Wars, but, like,
Mandalorian
It's
does
only
it in 8. Well, you also got to figure like most Clone Wars arcs at max are 3 episodes long.
Yeah.
Like Mortis was a 1, 2, 3. The Obi-Wan in Disguise arc was 1, 2, 3. Umbara, I think, was 3.
I thought that
Umbara, I
was 4.
think, was 4.
Okay, Umbara was 4. Yeah, you're right. I think
I don't know
like,
how I knew that. But okay.
the search for Viceroy, or like the whole Viceroy Gunray arc, it's loosely an arc, is 3 episodes. So if it is 3, it could be 4 sets of 3 episode arcs, and I'd be okay with that. That like we get Siege of Mandalore, which will probably wrap things up. I know there's an arc
that's gonna
where
probably be the
Obi-Wan and
last arc.
Anakin are deployed to Utapau, and there's a kyber crystal harvesting thing going on for what they don't realize is the Death Star. You have the Bad Batch arc, and maybe like an Order 66 arc. That would like, or maybe like it goes like Bad Batch, Kyber Crystal, and then Siege of Mandalore and Order 66 are just
isn't
one
it confirmed,
super
like,
arc.
what arcs exactly are?
I guess that is
I mean,
like a lot of anime, but
Yeah.
at the same time, a lot of anime are crap.
that's fair.
So
I know the Bad Batch and the Siege of Mandalore are confirmed. I'm pretty sure that they're going to
Yeah, I
be
know
doing
it's
the
Bad
Kyber
Batch,
Crystal
Seeds of
thing.
Mandalore, and
Unless the
something
Kyber
to end the
Crystal-
Ahsoka after she leaves.
Or I could be wrong, but maybe the Bad Batch stuff and the Utapauan Kyber Crystal stuff are the same thing. But regardless, I'm very excited.
Bad Batch is an entirely different.
It is? Okay.
Yeah.
That said, very, very small gripe that I've always had with the show as a whole. We were talking about this right before we started. The lack of Count Dooku upsets me. Because
I can see that.
I've just always,
Yeah.
like, Dooku is my, like, Jaro Tapal or whatever. Like, he's just that character that, like, I know in the grand scheme of things. Like, if I were to give you, like, a verbal, like, I'm going to explain the story of Star Wars to you,
Dooku does not have much time. in
I
that
don't
rundown.
necessarily. I probably am not going to mention Count Dooku just to keep things concise.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of characters who I love who, like, I don't need to bring them up for you to understand what's going on. What? Yeah, Dash
Wait,
Rendar
what were you
doesn't need to
saying
come
about
up.
Jared Tapal? Because you like said his name and then cut out.
Oh, just that, like, in the grand scheme of Star Wars, they are characters that people love. That if you were to sit someone down and like, okay, here's the story of Star Wars, they don't really come up.
Oh yeah, okay.
Like Dooku,
That makes sense.
And Jar Jar Tapal and Count Dooku serve the same purpose of they're there to die.
Yeah.
Like, Jar Jar Tapal is there to traumatize Cal Kestis, and Count Dooku is there to essentially be like the dark sacrifice for Anakin to cut his teeth on the dark side. So, you know, I disappointed that we're not seeing Dooku. Maybe he'll be in the show and we just haven't seen any footage. But yeah. Very excited for Clone Wars. We also got this poster, obviously, and again, whole lot of blue. We've got the classic Darth Maul pose, though, which is fun.
yeah, in his stance, and he's, from what we've seen in the trailer, he's all grown up. He's real calm,
Yeah.
collective. It
He's
doesn't seem
more
like
back
he's as
to the
quick
Phantom
anger
Menace.
now.
Yeah. Because that was something I liked about, like the big difference between Phantom Menace Maul and Clone Wars Maul.
And post Spider Maul.
Yeah, like basically pre-Spider and post-Spider, and then like Maul. Okay, I like how like Darth Maul has that like quiet, seething rage in the Phantom Menace, and he's bloodthirsty, but he's not a dumbass. And once you get into Clone Wars, it's no longer a silent, seething rage, and like angry becomes his primary personality trait.
He
And, like,
literally
he's not-
survived off of anger,
Yeah,
which is just
and like, not that he's necessarily stupid, because obviously, like, you know,
He connected the underworld under him.
exactly, like he was the first person, like outside of the Hutts, which is its own thing unto itself, the first person to be like, I control the entire criminal underworld. But there is still that like, but Kenobi. And then by the time we see him in, you know, Solo and Rebels, he's a lot more back down to earth. He's not that like, it's back to quiet, seething rage that he has the, you know, calmness to try to seduce Ezra to do what he has to do. But the second Obi-Wan comes back into the frame, you know, it's just Kenobi. And like, I love that he sees red when Obi-Wan's involved. And it's nice that we have a nice transition from, you know, bloodlust Maul back into like Eye of the Storm Maul that he has to be for Crimson Dawn to come into existence. So yeah, very, very excited for this. We'll probably be doing weekly reviews for episodes. because they're
Probably.
going to be doing it weekly, so we'll be able to
Yeah.
we'll be able to
Dude,
pull that
that'd be
off.
Oh yeah, we're
I know
so
that was-
doing that.
That was one thing that disappointed me about the way Mandalorian shook out and our like back
Yeah.
chunk of time on Dewback was there was so much going on.
Well, because like in the process of trying to talk about Mandalorian, another Star Wars movie came out, and then we went on break,
Yeah,
and then now we're doing this,
yeah.
and it was already
Break
over.
a game,
And now,
Break a
yeah,
game,
and now
a movie,
Clone Wars is like
audio
the big
commentaries.
thing,
Yeah,
Yeah,
like the sole big thing
yeah.
right now.
It's a mini story, and it's one that Connor wanted to talk about last week. I'll let you take point on the Fallen Order update.
Yeah, so if you didn't pre-order Fallen Order,
like me.
yep, and I did, but I lost my pre-order code.
Ah, dude, I'm sorry.
I did, and I used... No, that's not true. I used...
Fret not. All the pre-order content in the regular edition, at least, is now available to all players, and this content includes a Megiddo and Umbaran campaign lightsaber hilt, a BD-1 skin, a Gold Squadron Stinger Mantis skin, and my absolute favorite thing, an orange lightsaber blade color. So I'm just super hyped to get the lightsaber color because it's just aesthetically it looks amazing.
You also get the all the lightsaber parts, and it's the Umbaran and the Megiddo campaign. I'm still confused by like what they mean by that, because you do not visit Umbara or Megiddo in the game.
I don't know. I mean,
I like they
yeah,
look
that's
cool.
what I thought too. And legitimately, for Cal's story, that would have been amazing.
I mean, yeah, Megiddo especially with we know Jedi died.
Oh yeah, and I think Umbara could have worked as well in some context.
Yeah, save it for a sequel.
Maybe if we get Matt Miknovitz on here.
One can dream. But yeah, I used the Megiddo. Which one's the gold shiny one?
I think it's Megiddo.
Okay, then I use the Umbaran one. I used the Umbaran one a lot at first once I was able to customize my lightsaber. Just because.
So I'm guessing, does it replace just the hilt?
No, you can use the individual parts.
Okay.
So like you can use
like when I saw that some people had it was their new emit. I want to say,
Oh God, that's all.
but I could be wrong. I don't know. I could be wrong because I love the Jared Paul emitter. It's so Old Republic.
Yeah. So just like the same way with all the other.
I never didn't use the Joe Paul emitter. I just like it too much. I like
Yeah,
that.
same dude.
I like
same.
the big,
I cannot tell you how quickly I got rid of it.
Connor, do you want any popcorn?
I mean, if we were a dyad in the Force, yeah, sure, but
All right.
that we need to make that a Ben Solo thing of Levi just passing the bag back.
and I take the bag,
Yeah.
do the shrug, and I
Shrugs,
just
puts his
start
hand in
eating.
it.
But yeah,
Audience, do you want any?
that'd be
Sorry.
funny. We need
Levi
to,
just
that'd
starts pouring the popcorn on the microphone.
Please don't. Yo,
We should no. We should okay. So what we should do is we obviously have to make sure it's a bag of popcorn that's the absolute same, and we do something on like Twitter or something, the hashtag Ben Solo challenge, where you hand me a bag of popcorn and then like over your head, and then
Oh, yes.
cut, and then it cuts the video, and then I grab it, do the shrug, and just start chowing down.
Yeah. Just sit down to play Fallen Order.
you
with
wear
the
it like a
popcorn.
hat. You open it and put it on like a hat. I'm a comedy genius.
You are. Speaking of comedy geniuses, Taika Waititi might make a Star Wars.
Oh, that's my boy. I love me some Taika Waititi.
I'm gonna get a beverage.
Go for it. Grab me one too.
Ooh, my leg. Ow.
But can I have a beverage too?
Yes,
Yeah.
you can have a beverage.
His name sounds like something Jawas say.
Not entirely wrong.
Yeah, but I like it. You probably know Taika Waititi of Thor Ragnarok and Jojo Rabbit fame recently. He also got to direct.
What we do in the dark.
Oh yeah, what we do in the dark. He also directed, I believe, the finale of.
He did a couple episodes, but the finale was one of them.
Okay, so he did a couple, but the finale is like you can definitely tell he directed the finale of The Mandalorian, which is my favorite episode. But he might be being brought on for a Star Wars movie, which is exciting. This is mostly conjecture. Like we don't know how accurate this is. Yahoo!
Yeah, reporting. I believe the Hollywood Reporter is who broke this.
I don't know if that's the article we have in the thing, but I think you're right.
I have Yeah, they have the THR article. I think it's an exclusive.
I looked over to see if there was anything I missed, but no, it's just that like
we know that
this
is from.
he's in talks for a project, and we don't know if that project relates to anyone else like Kevin Feige.
Yeah, or if it's the Feige movie. Now, full disclosure, whenever these rumors did start circling a few days ago, and this news broke, Taika Waititi did, unprovoked, out of nowhere, just tweet out the album art to Fleetwood Mac's rumors.
That's smart on his part. That is amazing on his part.
Which, the comedic genius that he is. Now, again, we also know that Ewan McGregor has very openly talked about the fact that he spent the past 5 years lying about not playing Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah.
So, the mouse has no problem with telling people to lie about shit.
Oh, not even a little bit.
Not even a little.
That's why like I take nothing anyone says at face value. Because obviously they're gonna like if a leak like that happened, it's like obviously then Disney's gonna go, hey, deny it.
Yeah.
Snitches get stitches.
Snitches get stitches, boy.
Listen here, Taika. I'll bust your kneecaps. I don't take away your Thor movies, you hear me? That shit you have in Jojo Rabbit.
Really good. Oh,
You're gonna wish you were strapped in Nazi Germany. When I'm through with you, Taika, no one will recognize it.
that's impeccable.
Thanks, Connor.
I need that animated.
Casual.
I need that animated.
I'm sorry. That was my first F-bomb of this podcast.
Yeah.
I didn't see
it's
it.
the second episode of this podcast.
Okay, you're right.
In the grand scheme of things, that's not saying much.
It's not saying much, but I'm good. I got through episode 2 of T-Nap, and I got through the first episode of this,
Yeah.
and I saved it for a Mickey Mouse impression.
Okay. Oh,
You're only as good as your last fight.
what's that?
That was
from?
dark.
Wrestling. It's from wrestling.
It's from wrestling. It's from the concept of wrestling a man.
Anyway, Taika Waititi,
yeah.
Star Wars movie. Am excited.
Yeah, especially after what he did with Ragnarok. He just
And what he will be doing with Love and Thunder.
yeah.
I've just really enjoyed everything I've seen from him. I like now that Jojo Rabbit is in our local theater. I really want to go see it at some
Yeah,
point.
like I said off the air, I saw when they cut me early today, and I wasn't gonna text you guys immediately because I was like,
we were already about to leave.
yeah, I
so-
figured. I was like,
Yeah.
this is not gonna make a huge difference. So Jojo Rabbit, I could tell the trailers just ended. So I just plopped myself down while I waited for you guys to pick me up, and it was I watched 30 minutes of it, and it's just so.
Yeah,
He's really good at blending tone.
yeah,
And
I agree.
that is his strongest suit. Is that I was both entertained and horrified by what I was watching.
yeah.
Because you have the absurdist comedy where there's this scene in the very beginning. It's not really a spoiler.
He's very good at blending comedy in with another tone.
Yeah,
comedy's
yeah.
his core, and then he's like, okay, now I'm going to mix in very realistic
Political
war
drama. Yeah. There's a scene because the whole premise of Jojo Rabbit, for those of you at home, is that there's this small child who's being brought up through the Hitler Youth in Nazi Germany, and his imaginary friend is Adolf Hitler. And there's a scene where he's all dressed up, ready for Nazi camp, and kind of hyping himself up in the mirror, and then Taika Waititi in the full Adolf Hitler regalia just kind of leans down and says, "Hey Jojo, you got this. Let's go, man. Let's go." And he's hyping him up, and at the end he's like, "Come on, heil me." Heil me, come on, listen. He's like, Heil Hitler. He's like, no, come on, like, give it a good Heil. Like, don't even think about it. Just like, let it happen. Just Heil me, Heil Hitler. And it's just this Jewish man, because Taika Waititi's Jewish, screaming at this small boy, Heil Hitler, as the child's screaming Heil Hitler back at him, and they just start doing this like really rapid fire, Heil Hitler, Heil Hitler, Heil Hitler, Heil Hitler, blah, 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 like cutting back and forth between them. I was cackling in the theater. I was like, this is so profoundly awful. But it's like, we're not laughing at the concept of Hitler. We're laughing because he's being made to seem ridiculous, and
almost in a producer's esque way, but on purpose.
Yeah, exactly. Springtime for Hitler. With that very like he's like thumping his chest. Heil me, like
come on, man.
Yeah,
hype me up. Let's do it.
We're retiring. I need you to unbird me. We're gonna leave that with you. No, we're bringing it now. It's you. Heil me.
No, it won't be. No, it won't be.
I thought the plot for producers was that they had to make.
You can make more money
that
with a flop
failed.
than with a hit. Yeah.
And so the flop was going to be a musical about Hitler,
Right.
That was celebrated Hitler that accidentally turned into a satire.
because the actor they put in at the last minute turned him into a caricature.
Right.
Yeah, and it was like, oh, like now it's ironic because Hitler, who like was a vicious, evil homophobe, is now flamboyantly gay.
But that was intentional, right?
No,
It was an intentional, but from Mel Brooks.
Yeah.
But in the context of the show,
in the context
the
of
point was it was
That's what you
completely
meant.
straight faced.
Yeah.
Okay.
In the context of the show, the intention was we have an
I get it
actual
now.
Nazi.
I get it now. Yeah. I get it now.
okay, yeah.
By the way,
Yeah.
you know how, going back to Fleetwood Mac here,
He's speeding me through because he wants to get to this Fleetwood Mac joke.
Fleetwood Mac.
you know how on the Rumors cover Mick Fleetwood's got those wooden balls on strings
Yeah.
dangling? He stole those off a toilet.
I love this show. I love this show so much. Travis is taking a lap. Yep.
There they are.
Yeah, he did. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I really look forward to. Not necessarily look forward because we don't know what's legit or not, but I do really hope that this comes to fruition. Connor, your thoughts?
I'm excited. I mean, I really like the way he does his comedy, at least in Star Wars, and his directing. So like, I'm excited, but I'm not like over the moon. But depending on what he does depending on if he wrote and directed it, I would be very interested in to see what he would do with the Star Wars movie of his own making.
I'm pretty sure that he, more often than not, does. I'm pretty sure all of his work has been like written and directed by Taika Waititi. So, if this does happen, I'm pretty sure he would be both penning the script and directing.
He needs to have a cameo as like an ethnic,
he'll be-
ethnic Jawa
He'll be.
that was
Yeah.
taken in by the Jawas, but he's just a human.
I would. Oh my god. I need it.
Solely because of his
That'd
last
be
name.
nice.
I just love the term ethnic Jawa.
Yeah, ethnic is cultural.
Yeah, I know. It's just just those words next to each other is just
Oh my
very
God.
entertaining.
It would be amazing.
Like, I'm
You have
ethnically
bunch
a Wookiee,
of
you
midgets
know?
with like yellow eyes.
Imagine
Yeah.
and then-
Korg, but a Jawa.
And then just a human in brown robes and a hood
Yeah,
walking next to them in single file.
that'd be so
He
funny.
would be the translator. You know.
Yeah.
Real gruff voice.
Houdini.
I'm gonna take this one because the next story is Levi's unapologetically. He can't not cover that one.
No, he can't.
So, as you guys have probably heard, there's been some interesting drama around the box office for The Rise of Skywalker. It did just cross 1 billion.
Yahoo!
But it has also had a very not so pleasant $170 million dip at the box office. Now, again, we are not going to. The Star Wars isn't dead. Again, like they dropped the trailer
I
literally.
don't know about that one, Chief.
Yeah, like Star Wars, like they dropped a trailer today and the entire internet came to a screeching halt just to talk about
My
like
entire productivity came to a screeching halt.
yeah, you're definitely not the only one. There are a lot of factors here. There is the fact that there have been several more high-profile releases that actually can compete with The Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, that was my first thing.
One needs to consider the fact that when The Rise of Skywalker came out, the other two movies that came out alongside it were Spies in Disguise and Cats. So
And one of those was a real movie, and the other was Cats.
somehow.
So,
Somehow.
it did not have really stiff competition. Then the weeks following, again, you have the same thing you have the same advantage that The Force Awakens, Rogue One, and The Last Jedi enjoyed, which was you have a really big movie, everybody knows Star Wars, and everybody's coming home for the holidays, and everybody wants to go hang out and go see a movie and do something. Star Wars is such an easy, we'll just go see Star Wars. Because we all know Star Wars. So it had that advantage.
Such a cultural icon at this point.
Exactly, it has been for 40 years.
It's a good family film. At least, well, for the most part.
Yeah, I don't know about this one.
I know.
But,
I was just watching the ads.
oh, the Fenty Beauty ad that popped up?
It just went from yet another Mike Bloomberg ad to Taylor Swift and her earnings.
I did not notice. Oh, that one. I was looking down here because it went from the Disney World ad to Fenty Beauty, and now Chernobyl. But,
Oh my.
So
The movie.
Yeah.
The series, whatever.
Yeah, just the concept of a nuclear catastrophe. You also got to figure that there's now been several bigger releases that can actually compete with Star Wars, especially now that Star Wars has been out for a month. 1917 is out in the theaters. Bad Boys for Life is out in the theaters now. A lot of theaters, mine included, has gotten a lot of its Oscar nominees back.
Yeah.
So, we have Joker back at the theater now. Yay! We finally got Jojo Rabbit in. We didn't get Once Upon a Time in Hollywood back, but that's because we got it back thrice already. So there's a lot of factors here. I would hesitate to start doing the, fandom menace, this franchise is dead, nobody cares, it's been out for a month and it just made $1 billion.
We all would.
Yeah.
Certainly I'm sure the mixed reviews have had something to do with it.
Oh, totally. Yeah. It's going to play a role.
The talk around this movie has mostly, at least in my personal life, been, it was a mess, right? It was a mess. Yeah, it was a mess, but I liked it. Yeah, me too. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
pretty much the same for.
But if you aren't like us, talking about Star Wars on a weekly basis into a microphone, and you're just a casual fan, you missed.
I love you called
Snitches get stitches.
Have I told you my bottle flipping story? Did it hit? Nice.
Damn right it hit.
Have I
all
told
the way
you?
back in
First try.
2016, baby.
First try.
I'm eating a donut. Keep talking.
Did I tell you my story
Now I
about?
want a donut.
Do you want a donut?
We have a couple, I think.
Exactly two.
Exactly two.
Good.
There's enough for me to die at it, too.
What kind?
One's chocolate frosted and the other has sprinkles.
Yo, get me the sprinkles one.
Jared just touched it with his hands.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'll still eat it.
Jared, he does not care.
You'll still eat it.
You'll have
Pass
to
it.
you'll have to lick it. All right, he licked it. It's his now.
I'm gonna say, pass it through the force.
All right.
Pass me some of them carbs, baby.
All right, one of you was gonna say something.
I was gonna talk about a fun bottle flipping story.
Okay.
When I was in Alabama for a bowl game back when I did college marching band, and we're all in uniform, just kind of powwowing because they have different vendors and stuff up.
Yeah.
And we're casually flipping almost ironically, purposely not getting it right as a joke.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're all in uniform. We're all recognizable as the University of Toledo Rocket Marching Band. Shout out. And this one kid, it's hard to describe, but this one kid went to flip. I'm not laughing at my own story, I promise. I'm laughing at Jared miming the fact that he just dropped his donut.
He went through all the trouble to go get napkins so he wouldn't make a mess.
Dropped it right on my laptop.
Damn.
But
Instantly, all over, I'm picking sprinkles off.
yep. But this kid flipped the bottle, and this other kid runs up. I'm not naming names because I don't know if any of them listen. They're all friends with me on Facebook.
Yeah, Todd.
They probably don't.
I'm gonna say they probably don't.
I'm gonna say they
but,
don't.
But the kid that kicked it is like a huge nerd, and there's a possibility he does.
Okay.
You know who you are.
You know who you are.
We called you a nerd. Nerd.
He runs up as the bottle's midair and punts it across the parking lot directly into a staff golf cart.
Oh my god.
And without fail, like the kid that threw the bottle runs over to apologize because like he tossed the bottle up. Me and the other kid that were there immediately heel turn and walk in like 90-degree separate directions of just like we don't associate with this, despite the fact that we're in exactly the same clothing. We don't associate with these people.
That's great.
Anyway, Star Wars.
Well, I mean, that just goes to show how, like, this is a story that's relevant, but the narrative of, Star Wars is dead.
Oh,
like,
it's
it
not
literally
there.
immediately turned
It's
into
never
bottle flipping.
that's never relevant.
No. Like I said, the like, there's been some review bombing, and granted, like, this is not the strongest Star Wars movie ever made.
No, not by a long shot.
We all agree
That's
with
true.
That one came out 2 years ago.
Agree.
3 years ago now. It's called The Last Jedi.
Jared?
I will agree to a certain extent. I will agree with that.
I think
If I
it's up
ever
there.
met Ryan Johnson,
Is that Spanish
Dude, I'd
for
give that
Revenge
man
of
a
the Sith?
hug.
Is that what they how they
legit.
say it in the España?
I'd give him a hug.
piss off. If I ever met Ryan Johnson, Travis just went ass over tea kettle. You have consistently, every show you have been on so far, Levi, have had like one, like, just perfectly deadpan joke, and I'm so here for it.
Is that Spanish for Revenge of the Sith? Sweet Jesus.
But if I ever met Ryan Johnson, I would literally just have him sign the autograph, Daddy. Point blank.
I hate that.
I know you hate it. That's why I said
I hate it. Thanks, I hate it.
Thanks, I hate it.
Levi, I will pass you the laptop
Okay.
so you can talk about your favorite character.
I will take this laptop
Yeah?
And
Sit it.
eat it.
and sit it on top of my lap
Oh,
because there's no room where I'm.
Oh, yeah, you're right in front of the board.
Audience, would you like a laptop?
All right, that's the rule of 3. I can't do it again.
Fair enough.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
All right.
Can I do it in the tweet promoting the episode?
Yes.
Okay.
Permitted. All right, this is from MakingStarWars.net, straight from MakingStarWars.net. You heard it first here, unless you saw the link, of
Yeah.
course.
From our friend Jason Ward.
Rumor, Jar Jar Binks to return in Star Wars Kenobi. Oh, with a beard.
With Jesus.
Yes.
Oh no.
So we have 2 bearded fellas doing bearded fella talk. Because I don't
I
imagine.
realize we're going to have to force Levi to cosplay, like,
I don't imagine what else
sexy Jar Jar,
Kenobi
right?
could do on Tatooine.
Do you imagine the entire series is just going to be like Kenobi and Jar Jar doing stuff and like just sitting at a fire in the desert, like passing drinks?
Okay, hear me out.
For 8 episodes.
8 episodes
Now,
of Cheers, but it's Star Wars, and it's PTSD Obi-Wan Kenobi, and like alcoholic nihilist Jar Jar Binks.
I could get down with that.
I don't know what to do with my life ever since Anakin went off the rails and killed all those kids. Like, oh, Mrs. I have no sodas except for this to drink it right to here. Ooh, Obi, me more fucked up. Like, I'd watch that. I'd watch that.
alcoholic Jar Jar needs to have a deep voice.
More just
Alcoholic
once it gets
and smoke-
slurred. It's just
Alcoholic and
scary.
smoking Earth cigarettes. Like it's not like space-ized at all. It's not a Star Wars thing. It's just like it's a pack of Marlboros.
Yeah, like he
cigarettes.
reaches in his little satchel, and it's just like he opens them. You see
just
the
a-
clear green
It's like
lining.
a pack of Camels.
Anyway, this is just a
I'd walk
rumor.
a mile for a camel.
Oh, if it's Star Wars, I'd walk a mile for an Eopie.
All right. So as far as this article says, let me find the exact wording because this is masterful writing, and that is sarcasm. In case you didn't pick up on that, and it's not here. Can't find it. Hey, you two talk about something while I find this.
Okay, so from what I understand from this article,
I found
Okay.
it. Thank you. All right. Because the series hasn't filmed yet, and they're talking about Star Wars Kenobi, I am treating this as a rumor. That said, I believe it to be accurate and on the way.
okay, well,
right.
okay, this is also the guy who knew how
us-
Star Wars ended.
Yeah.
yeah,
We
Yeah.
can confirm.
yeah,
I'm treating this as a rumor, but actually I think it's accurate.
yeah. Well,
So-
yeah, I mean, he's not gonna say confirmed, but by the same token, he's like, if I was a betting man, if I was a betting man, I'd put money on it.
All right, and there's also the question whether Ahmed Best is returning as the voice and well, the Jar Jar.
mocap artist. Yeah, I would hope.
Yeah.
I would very much hope.
Keep it concise. His voice was in Clone Wars.
Yeah, he sounds super different in the later episodes, though.
Yeah. So I'm hoping this will be good. I hope they redeem the character that Lucas dropped on its head after his wife, aka the fan base, screamed at it.
Screamed at it.
Yeah.
Just screamed at the concept of a Gungan.
At the that's not my kid, and you know what I mean.
I know what you mean. I want to see you go through this whole extended metaphor.
Just
though.
I don't know, man. They did Jar Jar dirty, I think.
I love that you are a hardcore Jar Jar defender and apologist, and I respect you for it. It is a very bold stance. And
Jar Jar is he is talented. Like in the Star Wars, an idiot doesn't survive a war.
That is very true.
A complete
to some
moron
extent.
on the front lines doesn't survive.
okay, give me my computer back. I don't want your grimy hands touching this.
Your computer has League of Legends ads on it. It's already ruined.
He's not wrong, you know.
Shout out to League of Legends. It's actually a
No.
really good game, but the people who play it, you can all suck an egg.
Don't you play it?
Yeah.
So you can suck an egg.
Just so we're all on the same page.
Hey, something to talk about on TNAB next week. We got a poster.
Ooh, that's a really pretty poster.
Yeah.
I mean, it's teal, but it's pretty.
Is teal green?
Yeah, it's
Is it
like a
shade
greenish
of green
blue.
or is it a shade of blue?
Yes.
It's it's blue
And what
and
is
green.
the difference between
bastard
teal
love
and
child.
turquoise?
Not much.
Yeah, there's
is-
very
All right.
light shading between the betwixt them.
I'm gonna search both in Google to see what comes up.
Okay,
Search seafoam green while you're at it.
Hold on. Teal.
it's the show.
That Crayola color is slept on.
Yeah, seafoam green.
Yeah.
Turquoise.
This poster's made by the Seafoam Green Gang.
The best is dandelion, but I think they got rid of that one.
There is a really specific shade of blue that I always like.
Cerulean.
Was it
Real
cornflower
bright.
blue?
Whatever
Cornflower
one is like
blue?
the really
No.
like vibrant sapphire blue, and it wasn't. But they didn't go with
Sapphire
something.
blue.
But it wasn't something as like concise as sapphire blue. There was like some weird.
Yeah, I think it's cerulean. Search on.
So teal is like a darker, like a. It's like a darker,
I feel
almost blue.
so bad for all the people who tuned in for Star Wars news.
Hey, you know what? They got like 45 minutes of us talking about Clone Wars.
Yeah.
We're like
Now we're talking about the difference between like teal, turquoise, and seafoam green.
it's important.
It
That's actually not as bright.
No.
As
Yeah,
the
turquoise is like a
crayon.
more of a bright, and the
It's
seafoam
about
green
that, yeah.
it's almost minty.
Yeah.
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 Real quick, our
Ooh,
last...
mint would be a cool lightsaber color. That like tealy, like minty.
Yeah. The
foam green.
Ultra Sabers, they have a specific shade because basically the only character who's ever really used that specific shade was a Jedi by the name of Nomi Sunrider. So on Ultra Sabers, if you want to get that teal color like hers, it's just called Sunrider's Destiny.
Ooh, I like that.
Like specifically to get like, you know, I like how there's some characters it's just like I want that shade. Like I know in the Saber community, when people will say I want a Vader red lightsaber, it's because it has like a hint of pink to it.
Ah.
Because in the original trilogy, especially in Empire, it's like kind of pinkish.
It depends on the shot and how they look.
Yeah, especially in the carbon freezing chamber, it looks pink.
Yeah.
So when people say like Vader red, it's that very deep red with like just a hint of magenta.
Pink almost like where the white should be in the blade.
Yeah.
Magenta.
Yeah, just like a little hint of that, and it gets that vibrant look to it.
All right. While we're on the topic of seafoam green, things that look like seafoam green, Arby's has the Andes Candies mint milkshake back.
Not sponsored.
If anyone would sponsor us, Arby's would be all over us.
Accompanying the Andes Candy Shake is their 2 for $5 deal.
My God.
Oh, beef and cheddar.
Not sponsored. But I'm not discouraging you all from going to Arby's.
But Arby's, please
$5 deal.
sponsor us.
Andes Candies.
So our last story here, towards the end, as we covered on the Nerd Academy podcast, all of the geeky stuff getting award season love. The Rise of Skywalker is nominated for 3 Oscars. Visual effects, best original score, which, I mean, is kind of ironic because most of the music in The Rise of Skywalker is themes from other movies.
Yeah.
Which,
Because it's John Williams, they have to. It's like a law. It's like a law of nature.
Oh, I know. It was just the fact that, like, this movie more than any other is mostly
It's
music.
an inherent law of nature that John Williams be
Shouting himself out. And then it also has a nomination for sound mixing.
Whoa.
I know it is. I know for sound mixing and best original score, it's going head to head with Travis and my favorite movie of 2019, Joker.
Absolute spectacle that one was.
And if you guys listen to both shows, you know that is a lie. Yeah, hopefully The Rise of Skywalker brings something home. Star Wars has not won an Oscar in 40 years.
The Force Awakens didn't win anything?
Nope. Force Awakens walked away with nothing. Rogue One walked away with nothing. Same with Last Jedi and Solo.
Yeah.
So fingers crossed it brings home some gold just to break that streak. Yeah, that's all we have for this week, guys. Like we said, next week is going to be our review. We didn't say it. We'll tease it at the end then. Next week we are doing our Season 1 review of The Mandalorian with one Daniel Miller of Broaxium.
We couldn't get Carl Weathers, so we got
couldn't
Dan
get
Miller
Carl
instead.
Weathers.
Oh, man, Dan Miller's a solid guy.
Yeah, Dan Miller is a solid substitute for Carl Weathers. I'll take it. Now, if Carl Weathers gets back to us, we're gonna have to tell Dan we're canceling. But yeah, very excited to have.
We'll just tell them we moved it to a different time. It's fine.
Yeah, we'll do both and then cut them together. But yeah, looking forward to having one of our favorite bro hosts on. Yeah, so go like
We have a
comment.
cis host.
Well, their show's called Broaxium.
Yeah, but do we have a... Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why it's bro host. But what about a cis host?
Yeah.
SIS, not CIS.
I think for whatever reason, I don't think V's like really available to do stuff. Because I know there's a girl that they recently brought on, but yeah, I want to have her on. I want to have as much of the Broaxium crew on as possible because I love them dearly. But yeah, we're gonna have Dan Miller on to talk all about Mandalorian Season 1 and our hopes for Season 2. Very excited to do that. And yeah, look forward to lots of collaborations. I
Watch it.
huh?
I still have to watch it.
You should.
Oh,
do
have you
that.
not finished The Mandalorian yet?
You should do that.
How far in are you?
I watched the one where they're on the planet with the female soldier.
That's like.
ATST.
Okay, yeah.
So you're halfway through.
Yeah, you're halfway.
Okay.
Oh, what's the planet called? Is that
I can't remember.
I can't
is that
remember the name.
Navarro?
Maybe.
China.
No, it's not on. No, Navarro's the planet with all the bounty hunters and stuff.
Yeah. You're
Oh, the
right.
desert. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember the name of the planet. But anywho,
Connor, where can the lovely people find you?
They can find me on Twitter at DepaBanana, on Instagram at DepaBanana JFO, and on Facebook, admin in the Alliance of Star Wars Fanatics, a Star Wars Facebook group where our entire mission is just to respectfully and positively talk about Star Wars and celebrate the franchise, unlike many other Facebook groups.
We know a thing or two about that. Travis,
Unfortunately.
yeah. Travis, where can the lovely people find you?
they can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Travis Political, where I post funny videos of Jared sleeping.
And surprisingly not snoring like I'm dying,
Yeah.
which is my default
Not
setting.
like
for
that.
I don't
sleeping.
think you were in like the deepest possible sleep.
I'm
But like you
done.
said, you could hear the music.
Yeah.
So I think you were in that like time is passing
I'm just
faster than you
vibing.
expect.
I'm
But
just
like
vibing.
just vibing, man. Bro, I'm just vibing.
Levi, where can the lovely people find you?
Right. Well, remember how we said I'd create an Instagram last week? Yeah, I lied. So you can find me on
Do
Twitter
that while we do weeb shit
at
tomorrow.
Professor Levi on Twitter. If you find the account that's already dead, that's me. And yeah, where can
Nobody uses Twitter a lot in their first year. Like eventually you just catch the bug and then
Yeah.
you can't put
I
that
kind of did.
the Tweety
lot
Bird
of-
app.
I don't know. There's a lot of crap on Twitter.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
That's a good way to
I
describe
don't want
it.
to
It's
stay
just
away
the
from
internet.
that. Kind of like how I want to stay away from League
Yeah.
for a
That's
while.
fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair.
You can,
I
like-
understand that.
There's a good like you can find ways to like I don't get a lot of bad stuff on Twitter.
I don't too, but then again, I've pretty much prevented myself from getting bad stuff.
Yeah, like I don't whatever.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it. There are
Can't
times
do it
where
without
I'll-
subtweeting. Actually, like in
Yeah.
real IRL subtweeting.
What,
Jared,
okay, so what is subtweeting?
Subtweeting is the act of like you're very clearly talking about somebody, you just haven't added them. So
Okay.
like that, like you're
So
like
talking
directly
behind their
referring.
back.
You're directly referring to somebody, and have done everything you can to call attention to who it is without saying their name. And you would have to be an idiot to not know whom they are referring to.
All right, I got you.
And like the
Okay.
person reading it, if the person saw it, they would know instantly that they're being talked about. But since you didn't use their name specifically, you have plausible deniability.
Gotcha.
But you guys can find me subtweeting about Travis filming me in my sleep at Dark Jedi 2552, both on Twitter and Instagram. Be sure to check out the Nerd Academy podcast on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and check out our website www.thenerdacademypodcast.com.
Hey, you got it all right in the first try that time.
I do. Proud of myself.
Yeah. Also our YouTube.
We did it. We did it.
You're so I know, I don't blame you. You're so not used to it. But
We did it.
check out our YouTube, the Nerd Academy podcast. Every episode goes live there. For some reason, that's your preferred mechanism for podcast consuming. We're there.
I got a really bad side cramp because I moved too quickly. And I'm an
I'll help
old
you.
man.
I'll help you forget it by let me see one of your arms.
Yeah.
I'm gonna break your arm.
You want to break my arm?
Break your arm.
See, we have to put in like a crunch sound effect there at the end.
That's too much effort. Nah, fam.
Okay.
There we go. We
See,
did it.
they got a Foley artist right here. Thank you guys for listening. We are honored that you have joined us for this one, and may the force be with you always.
Oh, that's
Get to
cheesy.
class.
Sith
please.
homework.